Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fathuddin Menahlan, and I'm here to do a presentation about Industrial Revolution 1.0 to 4.0, also including Malaysia's Industrial Revolution as well. Okay, let's jump right into it. Bismillah. Okay, introduction. The Industrial Revolution was a period of major industrialization and innovation during the late 70s and early 80s. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain and quickly spread throughout the world. Okay, you may ask, what was the Industrial Revolution? The Industrial Revolution was a period during which the largely rural agriculture meaning is like in Malay we call it pertanian, and produced economy shifted to modern machine-based manufacturing. Okay, this is the chart about the Industrial Revolution from start to when we are right now. History of Industrial Revolution. This process began in Britain in the 18th century and from the spread to other parts of the world. Although used earlier by French writers, the term Industrial Revolution was first popularized by the English economic historian Arnold Toynbee from to describe Britain's economic development from 1760 to 1840. Since Toynbee's time, the term has been more broadly applied as a process of economic transformation than as a period of time in a particular setting. This explains why some areas such as China and India did not begin their first industrial revolution until the 20th century, while others, such as the United States and Western Europe, began undergoing second industrial revolution by the late 19th century. Okay, what was the causes of the industrial revolution? The emerging of capitalism, where trade and industry are made by private individuals for profit. It also made things easy for wealthy people to open productive business. Next, European imperialism, when Europe, a powerful nation, overtook less powerful nations like Malaysia. And lastly, the agriculture revolution, the increase and mass production of food items due to an increase in labor and productiveness in the 17th through 19th centuries in Britain. Okay, this is Malaysia's Industrial Revolution 1.0 to 4.0. The first Industrial Revolution began in the 1760s in Europe, whereby a transition took place from traditional craft production method to machine-powered production, giving rise to new manufacturing processes and rapid expansion of factories. The second Industrial Revolution, on the other hand, began in 1870s following advancements in pre-existing technologies and the discovery of electricity. Prior to our independence, the British had incorporated similar industrial processes in Malaysian factories. The tin mining industry, for example, was a key Malaysian export in the late 18s, and the mining process and enhanced using the steam engines in what was known as the gravel and pump method. It was this knowledge transfer that enabled Malaysia to go through the first and second industrial revolution. The workforce at the time also adapted to these new technologies, learning new skills in order to stay relevant. When Malaysia gained independence in 1957, the world was already entering the third industrial Industrial Revolution, signified by a shift from analog technologies to digital electronics. Indeed, the rapid advancements in technology was most apparent during the 1980s and the 90s, under the leadership of Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. In fact, Malaysia's economic performance peaked in the early 1980s through the mid 1990s, thanks to sustained growth that averaged at almost 8% gross domestic product (GDP) annually. This advance transformed Malaysia's export industry as well, shifting from rubber and tin as a primary exports to semiconductor components and electric goods. The fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0, involves automation technology, giving new challenges to all sectors in the country that require them to make changes in the line with digital transformation to remain competitive. Industry 4.0 covers the discovery of the new technologies such as automation, Internet of Things, or we call it IoT, analysis and big data, simulation, system interrogation, robotic, and cloud utilization that will accelerate the development of the modern world landscape. The automation technology is seen as a technology capable of that does not necessarily involve human beings. Industry 4.0 can also address dependency on energy source that will significantly change the future of the world of work. Malaysia is also promoting discussion and developing relevant education to be in line with Industry 4.0. The field of knowledge and education must be the core of efforts to prepare students and graduates to address the new challenges of the revolution. Malaysia also had drawn up the elements of Industry 4.0 challenge in the 2015 till 2025 Education Development Plan, Higher Education. That's for the Malaysia Industrial Evolution 4.0. Okay, this is the invention of the Industrial Revolution. What was the impact of the Industrial Revolution? The Industrial Revolution led to several important developments. First, the textile industry was changed. Machines were invented to make the cleaning, gathering, spinning, and weaving processes easy. With modern methods of production, large amounts of clothes could be produced at once. The invention of steam engine further improved the production. Gradually, industrialization spread to all kinds of industry like farming, transportation, communication, bank, and others. The advantage of the Industrial Revolution. First, ease of production. Industrialization made way more for cheaper and more efficient in production. Additionally, it made production quicker and easier. Second, improved healthcare. The Industrial Revolution also helped make several advancements in the field of healthcare. Medical equipment and medicine could be manufactured easily and innovated, which resulted in a better healthcare. Third, innovation and development. The Industrial Revolution made way for innovation and development in several fields like communication, transportation, and farming, or others. And lastly, better job opportunities. The advent of machines and factories made way for jobs with specialized skills, which created new job opportunities. With better economic opportunities, the quality of life also improved. But that's a catch. The advantages of the Industrial Revolution. Unemployment. With the advent of machines, several particular jobs became obsolete. People and families that performed these jobs were left without jobs or income. This led to unemployment and poverty. Basically, they less getting, right? how should I say this? Because of these machines, they hard to get jobs. So yes, and then that led to unemployment. Next, overcrowding of cities, with more and more people from rural areas moving to the cities hoping for a better wage. Cities became overcrowded. The sudden influx of migrants in poorly planned cities and towns led to unsanitary living conditions and spread disease. Third, harsh working conditions, with factories churning out products in mass quantities. Factory owners price profit over everything else. The workers were underpaid and forced to overwork with no concern for their safety. The dirt, the soot, smoke, and chemicals expelled from the factory make working conditions in the factories unsanitary and hazardous to the workers' health too. Pollution, one of the greatest ills that the industrial revolution brought about, is the pollution and environmental ills that it caused. The factories also used natural resources endlessly, which led to global warming and others ecological problems. And lastly, economic gap. The factory and industry owners look at their gain above all else, so the workers were exploited and forced to overwork in unsanitary conditions for low wages. As a result, the factory owners got richer while the workers stayed poor. This unequal distribution of wealth created an economic gap. And we are about to end our presentation. Conclusion. The conclusion of industrial revolution was the creation of many inventions that improve manufacturing capabilities of certain industries and improve the economy. Inadvertently, this also led to a rise in poverty and unemployment as dependence on manual labor was reduced. And that's all from me for my presentations. Thank you for watching my presentations.